Have you ever wondered what the difference is between a group program and a mastermind? Because if so, you're going to want to stick around. This week's video is for you. You know, we see different names of different programs floating around this industry every single day, and it can become really overwhelming to distinguish what the hell is what? What's the difference between a group program and a mastermind or a micromind or a minimind? What's the difference? What's the difference between Q&A calls and coaching calls? It's really important to understand this. So one, you know how to market your program, but two, and the biggest thing is you know how to design your program for what that client needs to set them up for success. Okay, so let's start by talking about group programs. Group coaching programs, group mentorship programs. What does this mean? A group program is really designed with teaching and leading in mind. So people coming into a group program have something to learn as a group. It's really more of a hybrid designed program where you're going to be coaching them, you're going to be mentoring them, they can ask their questions, but there's a base level of information that they need to know that's more than likely going to be taught inside your program. So for example, I have ran my signature program, 5-Figure Flow, as a group program many times before. And there is a core piece of content involved in that program, which is 5-Figure Flow. Everyone is going through the same content, they are learning the same things, and then they can come in and brainstorm and ask their questions when it comes to implementing. I've also ran a smaller version of my mastermind, the CEO Mastermind, and I've called it the CEO Minimind. The CEO Minimind has a lot more teaching involved than the CEO Mastermind because these are entrepreneurs coming into their business that are still learning how to operate their business. They need to learn systems, they need to learn hiring, they need to learn branding, they need to learn marketing. And so if I just got them all on some Q&A calls, they would not get the transformation that they need. They need that base level content, and it can be delivered in a variety of different ways. So with the 5-Figure Flow group program, that course was already set. People could go through the course and then come in and ask their questions. With the CEO Minimind, in the past, what I've done is I've taught the content live. So we'll get on a call for an hour or 90 minutes. I'll spend the first 30 to 45 minutes teaching live and going over the concepts live. And then we do Q&A immediately after to follow. I've also ran programs in the past that are a mix of two. And so I'll have some pre-recorded content and then we'll go over some content live. And then the calls in between or during or however you're structuring your program are meant to fill in the gaps. But you are giving them that base informational knowledge so they know what kinds of questions to ask. They can make the best use of their time in the program and they can ask you the best quality questions possible. So what about a mastermind then? Now, when it comes to a mastermind, it's really more about bringing multiple minds together to connect and to collaborate. And so the people coming into a mastermind don't necessarily need more teaching or need more content, but they're looking for a thought partner or thought partners where they can get different opinions, where they can bounce ideas off each other, where they can really get your high level support. Now listen up, I have been in masterminds before where we were not allowed to provide feedback to one another. And that was a experience that I'll never forget because something I always say when I am marketing things, especially like the CEO Mastermind or the Profitable Partnership, is that this is not the Taylor Show, okay? Yes, you're signing up to get my support. I will give you all the support in the world. I will give you my feedback, but the most valuable part of those programs is that you're not just in the same room as me, but you're in the same room as a handful of very high level women that have brilliant minds, that have brilliant ideas, that can offer their own experience and thought process and expertise and bring that to the table. So it truly is a master of multiple minds, not just one mind. And that's not to say that there isn't any teaching in this program, but it's more mastermind style teaching. And so for example, in the profitable partnership, I don't host any classes or trainings, but once a month I will bring in a guest expert. They will come in, we will have an hour where we're talking about whatever that guest expert topic is, and then we go into masterminding. Well, how can we apply it? Well, what do you think about this? This is how this came up for me. And so it's also a very different level of question and conversation that's coming up inside a mastermind versus a group program. Now, it's important to understand these two programs because the way you design them, who they will be for, and how you market them is all going to depend on this. Whether you're teaching, whether you are bringing clients in to be their thought partner, whether they need a solid foundation of information, you have to decide what they need for this transformation, how you're going to provide it, what kind of support they need on top of that, and that's how you'll know who it's for, how to market it. So hoping this cleared up the whole group program versus mastermind thing, and it will make it a whole lot easier for you to design your programs for transformation. That is all for this week's episode of Aligned and Ambitious TV. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week.